social settings, and so we're going to talk a little bit about the receiving line. Okay.
We need some volunteers.
We do need some volunteers. Okay. All right. Well, you have one. Come on up.
Come on down. Two.
Okay. Two.
We need 9. We need 9 women. Come on down. Come on, ladies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
9? All right. And the reason we're doing this is because when we demonstrate our receiving line, our actors are going to have their backs to you, and so the conversation is going to be a little hard to see and hear. Okay. Can you move over a little bit more? I know, you're almost going to touch it. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right. For our roles, okay, in order as we have our receiving line. And you know when you go in civilian life or, you know, in military life, you may not have these particular roles. You may have a guest speaker, a guest of honor, but there's always someone who has an honored position. There's always someone, for the most part in the military setting, to be with this young lady here. What is your name?
Jasmine.
Jasmine. She's got an important job. She's at the front of the line. Her tag says aide, but she could be the announcer. She could be the adjutant. Okay? And so what we're going to do is, we're going to have Lieutenant Colonel Rustad here, and his wife show you what not to do, all right? And I want you all to try to look, and if you can't see, I don't have a problem with getting up and trying to observe, because we're going to ask you, what did you see that went wrong? All right.
Okay, now,
are we ready?
Now remember, what? Just stand up straight and let me do the talking. Gotcha. Okay. General Zaid,
Hi, I'm Marie. Nice to meet you.
General, my wife, Stand up straight now, here. Come on. Okay. Ma'am, such a beautiful dress.
Oh, I think we met before you brought that barbecue chicken on your foot.
Okay, Mom, come on. Okay, this is my boss, Johnson, Colonel Johnson. Stand up. It's Colonel. Oh. Okay, and his lovely wife. I'm Colonel Rustad. Okay, see,
we met before.
I think we did. No, right here, ma'am. Oh, and we have the spouse of the Command Sergeant Major.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hold your purse, honey. My company CO. Oh, the FRG leader, honey. That's the one that you go to that group? Oh, come on. Let's just go. Okay.
All right. Do we have a round of applause for that? What did you see that was wrong?
She did wrong.
Everything was all hot and jacked up, right? Okay. What was one clear thing? What was wrong?
Leave her at home.
She was tipsy, a no-no. And what else?
Don't shake the hand of the aide.
Yeah, you don't shake their hand. Right, okay. What else? No talking. It's not a place for a whole bunch of conversation. You speak and you move on. What else?
She doing all the bowing.
Is that a uniform? You think they would know better. What else did you see?
She bowed.
She bowed. What was that all about? She didn't even know. Okay. She didn't know who anybody was. No.
And she's skipping
In
through
the wine glass. What's she doing in the wine glass?
She got sick.
Yeah, you know. She let it go.
And she went out of order.
And she went out of order. Yeah, she did. So what we're going to try to do is I'm going to coach them through the correct way to do it. Okay, so again, with the services, it's not always, it's usually, you know, a ladies first rule, but not with, you know, every branch of service. With the Army and with civilian receiving lines, yes, the ladies receive their husbands, okay? And then the Air Force and Navy and Marine Corps, the sponsors receive their spouses or their dates. But for the most part, the first person is Jasmine here. She's the most important person there. She is the aide or the announcer. And she's not necessarily the most highest ranking, but the most important because she is going to receive that information from Colonel Rustad regarding himself and his wife here, and he's going to pass that information down, like their name. Okay? So basically what happens is when the couple approaches, the sponsor, the service member, is in close proximity to the aide, as you see Amber here, or Colonel Rustad. And his wife is, you know, not. And he will go ahead and give his name and his wife's name.
Lieutenant Colonel Rob Rustad. My wife, Marie Rustad.
And then he would gently guide her by the back to go into the line first. Okay? And then the aide would actually pass down the information. Colonel Rustad and Mrs. Rustad to, this is the general here, right? Okay. And sometimes, you know, they can't hear, it's a lot of people, and it's totally acceptable for the Rustads to say their name again and again, because, you know, sometimes you mispronounce it. It's acceptable for them to correct if they, you know, mispronounce their name. All right, so go ahead. Okay, that went a lot better. A lot better. All right, thank you. Okay, I think we can let you guys go back to your seats now and take our signs back. As we said, you'll be in different situations, and you know the receiving line will be different sometimes. Many times they would never end it with a lady at the end. Sometimes we have people in the receiving line who don't have a corresponding, you know, spouse, and so you might have a single man or woman there. But again, you can always look to, you know, look at the people in front of you, the people who know a little bit more, and follow their cue. Sometimes you're in a line where the line is so long, you can't see the receiving line, and so you just kind of wait until you can get up and you just kind of duplicate what the people in front of you are doing. Hopefully they're doing the right thing. If you arrive too late and you have missed the receiving line, courtesy demands that you go find the host and the hostess and you pay your respects, say hello, and that is before you actually, you know, go eat and drink and that type of thing. You go and you say hello, all right? And so now we're going to transition to, we're going to sit down and have a meal. And of course, we're going to look at what to do and what not to do. So Amber.
Great. Ladies. So when I was a little girl, my mother would say, Amber, Amber, you're so able. Get your elbows off the table. As we mature and our table manners increase, so does your respect. And how many, hands raised high, have you ever been in a restaurant and you view that man or that woman on the cell phone, lettuce or their meal hanging out of their mouth as they proceed to talk, chomp, chew, and, you know, whatever, all in the same breath. And you think to yourself, oh my goodness, do they have a mirror? Could they possibly see themselves? So, table manners. Welcome to our table. And so proceeding on, maybe we're at that military ball. Have any of you been to your Army ball, your Marine Corps birthday ball, brigade ball? Okay, it's a very formal environment. Ladies, I invite you to sit down. Okay, so in a formal environment, as the male spouse, I would come and get the chair out. I would encourage people to please watch Marie. She is our example of what to do, and our lovely actress, what not to do. Let's begin with this napkin again. If you would have a napkin at your table that would have a ring on it, this ring would be then taken off and set to the left of your silverware. Other than that, your beautiful napkin goes gently across your lap and not snapped out or in your dress or your spouse in that thing. So, a few things with our table. You will notice that the bread should be on the table. So let's begin with the bread. That server would the server would bring that bread to you. Notice that we have two examples of bread at this table. We have both soft and hard. Now, did you know that there was a difference between the two? Did you know that there was a difference between how you would open and cut? So go ahead, ladies. I would invite you to pass that bread. So with that bread, your choices are a soft roll, as you'll notice that Marie is using that bread. When it is a soft roll, you will gently hold that in the cup of your hand and grate that bread in your hand. If you have a hard slice of bread, you will proceed to cut it in your hand, not on the table. Oh my goodness, what is going on? That gently you are taking that bread and again cutting it. Butter. How do you butter your bread? Who knew that there was a right way? Butter, you would gently take that, maybe it's a pat of butter or a thing of butter on your table, and with that bread and butter, you would butter only what you would use at that time and not necessarily your entire thing. Again, butter the knife. If there's a butter plate and a knife on your table setting, please do that. Now let's talk about your silverware. Who knew that there was more than one fork? When I was a child growing up, we had one fork. One fork meant less dishes, and therefore less forks. Okay, with the silverware, I have an example of what a traditional formal plate setting would look like at your setting. So let's just hit the flatware at this time. We have a salad fork, a dinner knife, teaspoon, and soup spoon. Notice too that there's a cake fork, a dessert spoon, and a bread knife. Flatware, your rule of thumb is to use outside in. So for our salad, let's begin with our salad fork. Now that salad should come at the beginning of your meal in a formal setting. You may find that salad is already at your plate setting, otherwise it will come. You'll also notice that for the dressing, traditionally there are at least two kinds of dressing. Ranch. How many of you only see ranch? In this case, we do have a nice Thousand Island. The salad spoon, the dressing spoon should already be there. Please use the spoon that is offered and not the one that's at your table setting. Again, it's already stirred up. Remember, it's best to follow the rule. The tip of the tongue and the teeth of the lips. Have you ever heard that one? Repeat after me. The tip of the tongue, the teeth, and the lips. Meaning as you begin to bite that piece of lettuce, you first hit your tongue, all the way, the tip of the tongue, the teeth come next, and the lips. Making sure that you're pulling that food off with your lips and not your teeth. We've all sat and watched that person all the way across. Now let's talk about if you would find a larger piece of lettuce that you would need to cut up. Again, you remember that you're not cutting the lettuce for your 4-year-old. You need to cut one piece. To know that you are cutting for one bite, you're not cutting your entire salad, and perhaps you might notice that Pia is just cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting. She only needs to cut once. So, any questions with that salad? Again, you'll notice that Miss Marie, if there's maybe onions, red onions that are on salads, or cucumbers, if there's an item on your salad that you don't like, please do not pick it up, elbow your husband and say, honey, do you want my cucumbers? No, rather gently put those aside. You do need to not put them on your salad plate or on your bread plate, but just leave them on your bowl and let it be. So again, salad. So we've hit bread and we've had salad. Another formal part of your meal may be, when you're done, and you do leave your salad fork. Leave your salad fork on your salad. Leave your butter knife. With that, salad fork. Salad fork is usually smaller than. Your second course may be a soup. So in this instance, let's say that there's a nice bisque or a broth. You will use your soup spoon. Refer back to our diagram. Your soup spoon is the one farthest out, and so that soup. Now, who knew there was a way to eat the soup? I can tell you how not to do it. Leo, would you like to demonstrate? Are you slurping for me? You're just scooping and slurping and scooping and rubbing around. Marie will demonstrate that. And you will just hold it up like it's the last bit of cereal in the morning. Okay, so for your soup, you're going to gently take that soup spoon, hold it between your thumb and forefinger, and not grasping that whole handle. And now the question may be, Amber, it is the greatest bisque I have ever eaten. What is the proper way to get the last bite of soup out of the bowl? And what you can do is gently tilt that bowl up and use the spoon, but again, the movement is away from you. You're holding it in and out, not rubbing it with a piece of bread to get the last bite out. So, again, ladies, thank you. This was our soup. The next course should be traditionally your main course. For this evening, we have a lovely chicken breast with some chicken parmesan and a thin noodle. Because y'all know how much fun it is to eat spaghetti in a formal dress. So, bon appetit, ladies. Let's observe. Can I get a Yes, it was made this morning. one bite at a time. Again, how many of you have 4-year-olds or 3-year-olds? And so when that dinner plate comes, you are cutting each individual bite. In a more formal environment, formal setting, you cut one bite at a time. You can gently place your knife on your plate and just eat with that fork. Now you'll notice Pia over here is just sawing and sawing like she is cutting a piece of wood. Not appropriate. Again, you gently take that knife and you're cutting on the back edge of that fork. A few other things, we do have noodles, so if it is a pasta, your big question should be, Amber, what do I do? To cut or to wind, what is the rule of thumb? If it is a thin noodle, say a fettuccine noodle, maybe you're having Alfredo or it's a regular spaghetti, you will take that fork using your pasta, and again, you're not cutting and cutting and cutting, and this isn't the movie with the dogs and you're looking, you know, honey, do you want the last piece of spaghetti? Kiss me. No, but rather use that use that pasta spoon, take that knife, and you will twirl using 1 or 2 noodles and bring it into your mouth. So, inevitably, it may happen that 1 or 2 noodles may slip off that fork and just suck it in as fast as you can, and then again, gently taking that napkin, and wow, that is social graces. Your mama would be so proud. So, for your husband, quite often at any formal meal, you will have an option of, say, a chicken or beef. Those are the 2 most common kinds. For a beef option, again, you would cut it very similar to that of, say, a chicken. Again, you're using the back end of your knife and spoon. But let's say there's some great steak sauce that comes. Again, don't use this. It's a fine cut of meat. You don't need this, or ranch dressing. Gently place a little bit of the steak sauce on the side of the plate, only using what you would need per few bites, and then you can replenish. But again, a steak you would cut very similar to. I'm going to jump ahead of myself real quick. Do you know how you would identify a plate that is ready to pick up? Say you're finished with your meal. Maybe you didn't eat everything on it. You cross it. Okay. A couple things with your knife and fork. Let me read it. In the contemporary placement during conversation, you'll lay your fork down on the side of the plate with the tines downward and the handles in the 8 o'clock position. The knife handles in the 4, so pretty much you're 8 o'clock and 4 on a clock. So if you're leaving, let's say that you're in between your meal and you need to quietly excuse yourself, maybe you've got something caught in your teeth. So what you would do is gently scoot your chair back, or perhaps maybe even have your husband take your chair, come back, not to disrupt, and you would gently lay your napkin soiled side up on the back end of your chair. That would identify that you are coming back to your meal. So, you know, restroom, cell phone, whatnot, come back to your seat, and you would sit back down and again put that napkin back in your chair. So the waiter, the server can identify that you are done with your meal. They will take that away, and it is time for dessert, because who knew? You have more silverware, you have more food to eat. So quite often too, in a formal meals, you may have 2 different options of dessert. It may be a soft, which would be maybe a yogurt, a pudding, an ice cream or so, or something hard, say a cookie, a tart, or a piece of pie. So depending on which you prefer, which you ask for, you would use the silverware at that plate. Again, the dessert spoon would be at the top, and if it is a soft item, ice cream, yogurt, and whatnot, you would use that. Wow, are you just biting into that? What should she do other than bite into something? Again, yes ma'am? Cut it, yes. So, dessert would then, wow. As it crumbles down the front of you, and they're all going to be saying at the table, wow, whose date is that? Now, as military women, as you know, both active duty and spouses, is quite often that we will PCS. We will receive an assignment, say in Asia, Korea, Japan, or even Germany. So take into consideration, as that spouse, do more than just read that book. Rather, know the difference between, say, your chopsticks. Did you know that even within our 3 Asian assignments, you have these chopsticks? Anyone know where these would be found? Korea, yes. And you're going to need to practice, as well as your Korean meal will also receive the silver spoon. In Japan, quite often you will find a more formal set of wooden chopsticks. Again, much different, taking that rice off your, the sushi roll. And then you also have more of the wooden side. Now, we've all been in that Asian restaurant where you see them and they break them apart and they start rubbing together. Is that considered good table manners or poor table manners? Poor, yes. Though it's maybe acceptable, you've seen it before, rule of thumb, please do not rub them together. It can be seen as very disrespectful. Also, at the end of your meal then, you would put your chopsticks back into the plastic wrapper. Now, quite often too, you would see rice come to your meal. It's in a silver bowl. Difference in your different Asian cultures would be the bowl goes on the table, stays on the table. In Korea, you would actually raise that bowl to your mouth and so forth. So again, know your culture. So a couple things in closing, rule of thumb, inevitably things are going to happen. Your date's going to spill the glass of red wine all over the tablecloth. Your date will spill the silverware. Or, your date, well, maybe your date has food in their mouth. What we encourage you to do is take social graces. Inevitably things are going to happen. If you are that senior spouse at that table, you have a great responsibility upon you as you are that spouse that will help lead the conversation, make the other women feel very comfortable and calm. And if things happen, help them out. Let them know that they are not alone. And again, when we are at the session next month, fun things we will address, how do you set the table, how to know. What if someone has dirty, you're not going to hold it up and say, ooh, Cascade, huh? No. But no, what is acceptable, especially if that server is coming around and so forth. My husband, honey, you got food in your teeth. What? And now he smiles and everyone sees the spinach. So again, we will address those environments of what to do. Did they do a good job at the table?
Okay, great. Hi, again, my name is Marie Miles, and I am just so honored to be here with you today. And as Kia mentioned, I've been a part of the military family for over 30 years. And as you probably can guess, we've had an opportunity to live outside of the United States in different countries, about 4 different countries. And out of everything that I'll say to you, I think one of the most important would be when you are going to PCS to outside of the United States, make sure you take the time to read about that country, study the culture, what is appropriate, what isn't. But we're going to talk about a couple of things that can make your social outing a success or maybe a disaster. Dressing for the occasion. There's someone called Emily Post that said, clothes are to us what fur and feathers are to beasts and birds. They not only add to our appearance, but they are our appearance. Have you ever arrived at a function and discovered that you wore the wrong clothes? I want to see anybody's hands because I know I'm not the only one. Okay, I've done that. But unless you know what dress terms mean, it's easy to make a mistake. So rule number 1 is don't hesitate to get clarification before you go. Call the hostess, ask. I don't know about you all, but when my spouse brings messages home sometimes, I don't get the whole story. Anybody like that other than me? And I always want to know, well, what kind of function is it? Well, I don't know. I mean, for us, that's a big deal because we need to know how to properly dress. And they don't see it sometimes as a big deal, but for us it is. So I have had that situation to happen. Secondly, the second most important thing I can tell you is if you happen to make the wrong mistake and wear the wrong thing, have fun. I acknowledge it. Whoa! I really blew it, but I move on, I make the most of the moment, and I learn from my experiences. There are only 3 basic dress terms. It's formal, informal, and casual, but there are a lot of other factors to consider. You have to consider the type of event, the climate, the location, and even, again, the culture when deciding what to wear. I've lived in Korea, I've lived in Belgium, Germany, and I can tell you the cultures are so different. Hawaii, what they may consider as business casual, maybe their open floral shirts that they wear, or a moo or one of those type of things. These are guidelines that we're giving you, and most importantly, again, I would say learn, ask questions, and come and visit us on April 30th when we do our more in-depth class on social graces. Another thing that I think is very important is when we meet someone for the first time, from your attire to your first handshake to the first words out of your mouth, they all contribute to that first impression. And how many times do you get to make a first impression? One time. Okay. When you shake someone's hand, you know, have you ever shook someone's hand and it's like a limp fish? I know you all have an experience. Or you have someone who has a bone crushing and you want to buckle your knees. But shaking hands should be regarded as more than just a formality, but also a gesture of friendship. And so when you do shake someone's hand, what else do you, think is important? Thank you. You're smart. Absolutely. Eye contact. Again, I will say to you, having lived in Asia, especially Korea, I've noticed that their culture, they don't always give the eye contact. And that's okay. I actually know that Amber lived in Korea for a bit of time. When they shake hands, and if it were Amber and I, with me being the older person, Amber, how would you shake my hand if you were in Korea? Absolutely. Can you show the other side of the room? Exactly. So it's important, again, to learn the culture before you go. When I was living in Belgium, of course, French speaking. Does anybody know what they do when they greet you? Kisses on the cheeks. How many times? Twice. I heard somebody say 3. Also, again, just having been different places, I'm sure a lot of you can identify with that. You're going to be experiencing different things. When you're shaking hands, who offers the hand first? Does anybody know? It's okay, I didn't know either. I read it. It doesn't matter. Even young military spouses should not hesitate to extend their hands first when meeting older or more senior people. You should always shake hands when you're introduced to someone and when you say goodbye. And one last thing when shaking hands, should a woman remove her glove? What do you think? Yes. Everybody thinks yes? Some people say no. Well, technically, if at all possible, the woman should remove the glove from her right hand. I would extend my hand and I'd say, excuse my glove. The other thing I want to mention is if you are in a receiving line and you have a lot of people coming through, you might want to remove your ring from your right hand as they're coming through, or don't wear it. Either remove it or don't wear it, because after you get a couple of those hand-breaking handshakes, you realize why. When you have a lot of people to come through. When you're conversing with people that you met for the first time or you haven't known very long, you know, we have different types of personalities. And so our conversation, one of the things I can tell about our military spouses is that we have a lot of things in common also. So I can tell you about most of the folks in this area only because I made a point, because this is a big what area? Say Raven. This is a huge Ravens area, and you know, I just made it because Maryland is not my home either, but I tell you what, every circle I go in, there's always a Ravens fan, so I made it my business to try to get to know a little bit. Also, I try to keep abreast of current events. But one of the things I would say, stay away from, and actually I'd like to ask you, what's one of the things you think you should kind of stay away from in conversation? Politics and what? Religion. Woo!
No,
That's in my notes. That's exactly what it says. Politics and religion, because you get some heated debates going on about that. Part of conversing is listening also, and letting that person have opportunity to, voice their opinions. The other thing, how will you make it a point to remember my name? What can you do to remember my name? That's what I'm sorry?
Say it.
Say it. It is important to remember that name, and if it's a strange name, which I see all the time, it's okay to ask, because it's just something about seeing that person again and remembering the name. Again, in the interest of time, I want to encourage you to join us on 30 April, because you'll get a whole lot more of the handshaking truth. Now that you've learned about, appropriate, dress a little bit, you've had dinner and a lovely conversation, maybe now it's time to leave. And we've all been taught to say what when someone does something nice for us.
Thank you.
Thank you. But sometimes thank you is not enough. A few tips to developing good manners and expressing your thanks are the following. Knowing when it is appropriate. Sometimes just saying thank you may be enough. So is it appropriate to do a little bit more? We're going to talk more about how soon after that event you should take the opportunity to say thank you. So Amber has some examples of thank you notes, and I'm going to just let her step in now.
So this past Saturday evening, we'll say that my husband and I joined the Miller family for dinner. A few things with your thank you. I've identified all the parties involved. I addressed the thank you note to Mrs. Miller and only her. Identified her husband though. My husband and I included our names. The evening, we met Captain and Mrs. Johnson, and especially here at Fort Meade being a purple installation where we are joint, also compliment on the food, always sharing that you actually ate or identified what you ate, and then in the evening. And at the latter part, make sure that you've written the date, and so the dinner was on Saturday, identified that you've written the thank you on Monday. Sincerely, Mary, and knowing that you probably included a return address so she can double check those names.
Okay, well, we've gone through quite a bit at a great speed. So we hope that you have some takeaways from today. And again, please come see us. We have our etiquette class with Sarah Matthews going on. We have these lovely little cards. You can slip in your purse to remind you. We are taking sign-ups at the table. We have limited space. So thank you all for your time and attention today. You have a full and exciting day ahead of you, and enjoy yourselves, because it's all about you today. And for Queen and her USO Dream Team, thank you for your commitment to always giving our military folks their best, because they do deserve it. Thank you all.
I want to know if you guys are paying attention or if you just came for all the goodies that we have. Who came for the goodies? Everyone should be raising their hand. I came for the goodies. Okay? So, with that being said, does anyone want to share the best part of the presentation that you all just experienced? Anyone? Remember, it needs to be interactive. I have a goodie. Sergeant Pop, please stand.
Oh no.
I get it.
Hi. See, that's that etiquette. I'm going to do some work. No, I enjoyed learning some of the table etiquette. We know that this is the way. You're probably doing it wrong. Yeah. You probably seen me somewhere. Don't give me that eye now. But no, I did get some good tips as far as like being proper etiquette. So I enjoyed that. Thank you.
Outstanding. Anyone else? In the back. We've got.
I know. That's why I can't.
I just wanted to say it was very wonderful to hear the fact that we do represent something, whether or not it's here in this community, the community outside of the military, or in different countries. It's good to hear that we represent something and that it's a powerful thing. We do stand for something wonderful and great, and we should be proud of that. We should show that by being respectful, by having good attitude. So that's just a great thing to hear. Thank you.
Please stand.
Hi, I'm Cynthia, and I just wanted to
watch. Are you guys hungry? You want to know what I got you for lunch? Yeah. You're going to have to wait a little bit longer. No. Remember, so, okay, this is Project Cinderella. This is the 3rd year, ladies. So we really went big for you guys this year, right? I'm doing what I love most, which is engaging with you all. I am a military dependent, or former dependent. My father's a retired officer, my husband served in the Marine Corps, and we always viewed our military family as an extension of each of us. You all are an extension of each other. You should be calling on each other in the military sisterhood. I challenge you all to reach outside of yourselves and connect with someone different. That might be one of the giveaways today. I have a giveaway for you guys. I am looking for ticket number 378-189. Hey, she's a birthday girl. Well, no, you celebrate your birthday all month. Do we want to say happy birthday to her? Yes. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandma. Before you all leave today, I need you to sign our program event sign sheet. Numbers tell the story for USO Metro, right? I can share with you guys. Has everyone visited our new USO Center? Yeah. Did we improve? Yeah. I can tell you, we definitely improved. The USO is your home away from home. I strongly encourage you to make it a part of your normal routine.
This young lady, both of her parents are deploying, and so both of her parents are deploying. So she's kind of a special guest today, and they're trying to get her ready for the prom because her mom won't be here. And then this is my daughter. She's Miss Maryland Team USA, so she's her buddy today to help her.
That is so special. Wow. Thank you.
Here you go. This will last 2 years. I don't need it anymore. I don't need any more.
We, as in Miss Sandra, and our fabulous Hannah, took her, and this is a part of the transformation part of Project Cinderella. Lilliana, tell our friends how you feel.
I feel like a princess.
Like I said, she's in training, and she's going to be heading to South Korea. So she's not going to be here for prom, but I told her she's going to be my little princess because it's all about you, right? So, with that being said, but that's not all, because Mom is here with you. So that's Mom. Everyone say hi to Mom. Hi. Mom, do you see your beautiful little princess? Mom, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys, yes.
Yay! Hi, Mom.
Beautiful, Lilliana. I wish I could be there with you. I wish you were here too. Let me see. Can you come a little closer? Oh, there. Thank you. Like it? Yeah.
Tell her about your dress.
And your shoe? Well, they picked it out.
So, I mean, this is our USO, this is USO Metro's present to you all, the art family. So thank you so much. So, Mom, anything else you want to say to your beautiful daughter before we sign off?
Take a picture with your mom.
Just that I love you, and I wish I could be there with you, and I hope you have an exciting time at prom. And thank you guys for doing all this for us. I really appreciate it.
Do we want to get a quick family shot too? Oh yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. This is called uniform. All right, this is uniform. All righty. All right, people. So now we have Nancy, the wardrobe wizard. So come up and meet her after. Okay.
Hello, I'm Nancy. I'm the wardrobe wizard of Baltimore. I'm a trained personal image consultant. I specialize in helping women whose size and shape has changed to go shopping in room closets. And I'm going to talk to you today about 7 secrets of beauty unlearned. In 1990, magic happened for me. When I discovered a company called Color One. Some of you may have mothers, or some of you may have actually gotten your colors done by Color Me Beautiful. In the 1980s, there was a book by Carol Jackson called Color Me Beautiful. And I started mentally trying to put the right colors on myself and other people. And I thought if I could do that for myself, I could do that for other people. So a friend of mine, Connie, said to me, you know, I used to be able to just run a comb through my hair, smear a little lipstick on, and I was good to go. Now, before I leave the house, I'm afraid I'm going to scare someone. I don't know if any of you have felt that way. I mean, I said I felt like that since I was a teenager. Most of you are pretty young, you might not feel, as you get older, you might start feeling like that. It does take a little more work to look good, but I'm going to show you a new way to look at yourself. So some of you may have given up trying to look good, and some of you might still be struggling really hard. There's a lot of information out there. Some of it's accurate information, a lot of it is inaccurate. But I like the fact that they have these what not to wear shows on TV. The problem is they humiliate the people, they're not respectful of their fashion personality, and rumor has it that the people 6 months later revert to their old style. So what can you do? Okay, so I'm going to teach you 2 ways of looking at yourself, new ways of looking at yourself. I'm going to redefine real beauty and teach you how to look in the mirror at yourself. So it's repetition. When you repeat color, when you repeat shapes, lines, and proportions, that because the eye searches for the color and proportion. We don't know that, but our eye automatically searches for the color to be repeated, the line to be repeated. So I want you to look at yourself in a new way. And I want you to think of yourself as an unframed work of art. And your clothes, your makeup, your hair, the colors you're wearing, the jewelry is your frame. You don't want a frame that overwhelms you, and you don't want a frame that is as strong as you. So think of yourself as unfinished canvas. So there are 2 ways to determine which colors look like an extension of you. One is the blink test, and the other requires you to train your eye. And I'm going to teach you how to train your eye today. And the other is to get the Color One chart done. And I'm a specialist in doing color analysis. And by the way, I give deep discounts to people who are military or affiliated personnel or veterans. So you need good light, either natural light or full spectrum light, so full length mirror. And you stand 5 feet from the mirror. Let's say you get dressed and you stand 5 feet from the mirror. And then you're going to blink. So I want you to blink right now. Now, where does your eye go? If it goes to her face and what she's wearing and her eyes sparkle and her skin looks great, it's a good color. If your eye goes to what she's wearing, then it's probably too bright. Where does your eye go? What she's wearing, yeah. Okay? So I want you to blink again. Maybe put your hand over the left picture for a minute, and maybe you might have to squint your eye. And look at the right picture and blink. Tell me, where does your eye go? Yes. So do the blink test again, and tell me where your eye goes. Yeah, the jacket. That print is actually something that I could wear. I'm only 5 feet tall, but because of my high contrast coloring, I can wear a big print. Judith can't, because she has more gentle coloring. And that was something she actually owned when I met her. And it overpowers her. The lipstick is also too bright, and those earrings are awful. And I actually can do color consults now online. In 2009 is when I started doing this, and people can send me digital pictures. I mostly work with people in the local area, but I can do long distance now. Thank you so much. I'm going to be here today to help pick things out for people, so feel free to come up and ask me questions, and feel free to email me. Thank you so much.
Now, Miss Project Cinderella, we said anyone can nominate you to be Miss Project Cinderella. Miss Project Cinderella inspires, right, herself, others, community service, whether it's active duty, community service, whoever. I believe wholeheartedly in serving from the heart. That's my personal philosophy. I serve from the heart, which is one of the reasons why I'm with USO Metro. Okay? With that being said, we had a few nominations. All my Project Cinderella nominees. Do you know who you are? Some of you may not know who you are.
So Miss Project Cinderella II, okay, I'm going to share. All of you guys did an amazing job and your essays were phenomenal. I've been nothing but supportive of the new me. I've made so many changes and brought myself closer to being the person I hope to be. Why should I be Miss Project Cinderella? Well, I'd really like to know what to do with this new body, how to dress it, and how to make myself look 100%. I haven't been in the Army ball with my husband since 2006. I would really love to knock everyone's socks off at the JAG Corps Ball just 2 weeks after Project Cinderella. I know there are tons of deserving women, and you all are. I just hope I'm the one. And so, Miss Renee, you are indeed Come on. This is Miss Renee. You guys, who's Miss Renee? This is Renee. This is her and her new beautiful body. Good job. To help you with your new beautiful body, we've got a $250 gift card, compliments of Pastern Military Housing. And you can't be Miss Project Cinderella without a friend. Can we get our fast squad? We have, that's not on, okay? We have an entire fast squad. I mean, an entire fashion stylist team from here to makeup, wardrobe, all that good stuff. So we're gonna whisk her away. Can I get them to come on out? So, Miss Project Cinderella. Really quickly, we have Miss Abby. I'm sorry, Carolyn. Where's Abby? Okay, Abby's gonna do, she's gonna have a photo shoot, guys. So we've got a makeup stylist. Please introduce yourself. Carolyn Holder.
I'm Mariana Margal.
And you're going to be doing?
Styling.
Styling?
Makeup.
Makeup?
Rebecca Margal is doing the styling as well.
The dynamic duo right here. And we're going to be excited about seeing your unveiling. Awesome. Okay? Can I grab my phone? Yes. Okay. Sandra is now going to do our makeup, ladies. Sandra is the woman of the hour. So, Miss Sandra, who wants to be the tester? Who wants to be the muse? All right, let's see.
378171.
171? Where are you? Yes.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Hi.
Hello. Is that all you have? All right,
Bobby Brown Cosmetics, Laurier Cosmetics, Laurier, I'm sorry, and NARS Cosmetics. So I'm here today to show you ladies how to get a basic day look, a night on the town look, and something that's kind of in between. So I hope you enjoy it, okay? So ask me anything. So what I'm going to do is apply it, start in the middle of her face, just working it down. Just to get as close to the lash line as possible. And I'm just pressing or taking the powder. Close to her skin tone. It's a combination. It just does have a little moving to the out.
USO Metro gives from the heart. And it starts with our president, where's Missy Lane? Where are you? Missy Lane, can you come up really quickly?
This is amazing. Is this phenomenal? USO is a volunteer organization, and this is all done by the volunteers who have come from all around the country, actually, to come in and do this day. But I can't let this opportunity pass without introducing the commander of Fort Meade.
I'm giving hugs because you all are queens and princesses.
And your wife Audrey is here volunteering for us today. Audrey, thank you.
I do just want to say one more Again, USO is phenomenal. It's about caring, it's about giving, it's about selfless service, it's about volunteers, it's about team need, as you hear me say often, it's about you. And one who really makes this very special for all of us is little Miss Queen.
Okay, so getting back to our friends Fashion Delivers, they loaded us up for the last maybe 6 weeks, and our all my volunteers, Fort Meade volunteers, the best volunteers ever. So all of you guys in the audience are sharing, choose, that's all 4 hours a day, 2 times a month. We need you, so we can do more of this. Yes. But we did it because of Fashion Delivers, because of School of Paul Mitchell, because of our friends who joined us. We've got Abby, everyone that I introduced earlier. But Fashion Delivers over $200,000 in product and services. And for that, my friend,
So it's not much, it's everything, but it's from the heart.
I'm so touched for your continuous fashionable support of military women. USO Metro salutes you. Project Cindarella 2013. I'm so touched.
Celebrating the 3rd annual Project Cindarella. It has been an absolutely phenomenal day, and I would be remiss to say if this was all about USO Metro, but through USO Metro being the tool and our mission of uplifting the spirits of our troops and their families, we were able to connect with organizations such as Fashion Delivers, who truly do deliver. This year, over $200,000 in product and merchandise. We've got the School of Paul Mitchell, who signed on, again, I call him by accident, but I think it's accident on purpose. But there is so much magic surrounding this event, and it really does start with the people that we're serving today, which is our active duty women.
And what a great day this is. I have to tell you, as you hopefully know, the USO is an organization that is all about volunteers. The USO wouldn't be here if it weren't for volunteers. And today just tells you what that's all about. So many people have come together to volunteer their time, their energy, and their finances, and dresses, and makeup, and hairstylists to really say to our military, especially spouses and active duty females and their children, thank you for what you do for our nation.
USO is awesome. All the support they give, all the military service members. Fort Meade, we have been so blessed with the USO building and seeing it being used a lot. We just have had a great partnership with USO. We really appreciate. We wouldn't be able to do all the things that we do without them.
This event, Project Cinderella is phenomenal. The third time we've done this, and it just gets bigger and bigger. We have hundreds of princesses and queens that are being dolled up from all volunteer work, from dresses to makeovers. It's just so special. And I'll tell you, for me, on Fort Meade, I like to refer to it as Team Meade, and it's about the region, it's about the community. USO is such a special partner to all of us and all our friends here on Team Meade, and they truly make it happen. Huge shout out to Miss Elaine and Miss Queen, who are the absolute most special folks here on Fort Meade and Team Meade. Once again, thank you, and this day has just been so special.